welcome to another installment of the Fragments Silicon Reviews. 3 reviews up this week. First is Acid Nimbus. This is a free game that is available on Steam, so no, notifications of who gave it to us needed. Anyway, this comes from I guess, one-man team, probably one-man team minus, say, the music, because I think the music has other credits. But anyway, this comes from developer Herman Caro Villaburgis. I think that's how that's pronounced. And what Acid Nimbus is a retro-styled shooter, kind of in the style of, say, Robotron or the Oregon Trail minigame.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's a grid-based
sort of grid-based
shooter where, it's like your goal is to shoot things and score points. It's pretty simple. But maybe there's more going on than initially appears, but maybe not enough. I suppose I should quantify that. That is to say, so the whole acid part of Acid Nimbus is your weapon. Like, you have
you have a gun that shoots acid at these zombies or whatever that are attacking you. Right. And in order to reload, you have to stand in puddles of acid, which reloads your gun. It doesn't hurt you or anything. You have 3 very discrete hit points.
And your goal is to kill as many things as possible.
Yeah, you score points for killing things. You have to score a certain number of points to progress. There are like 5 stages aside from the tutorial. You have to score a certain number of points in a stage to unlock the next stage. And you also, if you do well enough, you can unlock new guns to use that have different levels of range, precision, power, rate of fire, and ammunition capacity.
Right. And every level has 3 types of enemies. Your basic mobs. Some will be projectile creatures, and projectiles can be dealt with by the dash.
Yeah, you have a bayonet charge move. There are 2 different kinds of projectiles on the first stage. I think that's true of every stage. There's one kind that can be completely destroyed with the bayonet, and one kind that it's a little trickier, I think.
Yeah. Having played on all the stages, I can say the projectiles are more or less the same, but not all the creatures will do projectiles. Like on the desert stage, instead of having 2 projectile creatures, they have homing enemies that are really fast, and also vultures. And on like the nighttime stage, you have negative acid, I guess. Pools
that if you stand in it, drains your ammunition.
Well, it'll hurt you.
Oh.
It's like the acid that hurts you is on the final level. Yeah, they don't.
Also, you can instantly die if you step over a line in the ground that says no trespassing.
I literally think, just demonstrated.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
Yeah. So the strategy comes from utilizing your 2 attacks, because what you see is what you get. There are no power-ups. There are no smart bombs. There are no anything. It's just you, acid shots, and a dash.
And you need situational awareness to know where the enemies that shoot are shooting from, and also to be able to find the acid pools, recharge your ammunition before they disappear, and not get killed while doing it.
Right. Or you can ignore those and learn how to master the dash.
The dash has a cooldown at a certain. I know that it's way more useful because it doesn't have ammunition, but at some points it's really bad to not have any ammo.
True, but here's the thing. One of the levels is an ice world, So it's really fucking hard to get any acid because you literally slide past it most of the time. I had to really get that is the second stage, by the way. So I had to get really good at the dash in order to get the 3,500 point threshold.
Oh, the dash isn't affected by ice?
No. Like, surprisingly, no.
Yeah, because that's kind of like with some games, either your dash move is super affected, or it's not affected at all.
This is the one where it's not. I mean, your movement is. It's ice physics. It's it's the bane of Naka's existence. In full glory. So.
Ice physics, the game. Okay, maybe part of the game.
Yeah, well, it's only that one level. Yeah, and not shockingly, the most annoying of levels.
I would have never have guessed.
Yeah.
So yeah, the limitations for this game that I found, and you can all speak up if you had different ones. I'm not good at it, so. One, limited options. It has a fixed sort of aspect ratio, but it could really stand with a pixel perfect aspect ratio mode because it's a very pixely style, although some of the pixels look like they're different sizes, which annoys me. But anyway. Basically, when I was trying to adjust the size of the thing, I found a hard time to get it so that even the text of the gun description was all readable and there weren't any letters that were mangled. It also loaded in a certain aspect ratio that is, I think, a little bit wider than most screens, so it was in quote-unquote full screen mode or non-windowed mode, but it wasn't actually filling the whole screen. And then when I changed it to windowed, it was still kind of hard to maneuver around.
If this was on your laptop, sometimes they use non-standard aspect ratios, because on my TV it worked fine.
It's on an actual monitor, although I think my computer sometimes thinks it's a laptop, so... Anyway. Also, there is basically no customization in terms of, control input or anything. You're using WASD and a mouse, and that's it.
Yep.
And that's the biggest reason I'm bad at this game, because I'm terrible at moving with WASD.
Yeah.
And Adam has troubles with that sometimes, too, because he's left-handed.
Yeah, but thankfully you can use the arrow keys. Since I could use the arrow keys, I was decent at this game. You unlock levels at 3,500. I've unlocked all the levels, so, Yeah,
you're doing at least 2/3 better than me on the first level, and then... Yeah. But yeah, my formative video game experiences were console-based, so I'm used to moving with my thumb, not my 3 fingers.
I've experienced both, so I know how to use keyboards, mouse, and controllers. I'm very versatile.
Same.
Well, and I think this game, I get that I'm not saying this should be a twin-stick shooter. This is definitely a game where clicking with a mouse is better than twin-stick aiming.
Though I could see how this could be made into a twin-stick shooter kind of easily.
Right, but I'd like to be able to use a mouse and a D-pad or something. Seriously, even though I could just take my freaking if I was good with computers, I could take my 360 keyboard and map it so that the D-pad inputs were up as W. Just do that.
There are programs that do that, but it's unreliable.
Right, I haven't got them and don't actually know how to use it, so... But that might help if you are in my boat and know how to do that.
Or, the developer could also, develop this further and possibly add controller support. It's really up to them.
Yeah, this seems like a really simple, intentionally really simple game. So.
I imagine this is probably a proof of concept for something. Again, this is another one we haven't had an interview for.
Yeah.
And it would be nice if you had, power-ups or any or health drops in the level.
Well, yeah, that's my biggest problem with the game. There's no real escalation. It's just really the same thing, and it does have the addictive quality, but if you played 2 minutes of this game, you've played 20 minutes or 2 hours of this game, really.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't switch a level or a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another minor quibble I had. There's no actual like collision or I mean, your character kind of grunts when you get hit, but other than that, there's not really any feedback for it. So sometimes,
and also the enemies can chain hits, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm usually too focused on trying to keep an eye on enemies and my movement to be paying too much attention to my life total. So sometimes I like run through a couple of enemies, and I'm not sure whether I got hit by one of them.
Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know if it's the aspect ratio thing or not, but it's hard to tell where the enemy hitbox is in relation to yours.
Yeah, your hitbox, I'm sure it doesn't include your gun, but I'm not sure if it includes your whole actual body.
Yeah, you either have a gigantic hitbox, or I'm just bad.
It could be both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
And it's sometimes hard to find stuff because these areas are large and not very featureful.
Right.
Like sometimes I literally run out of ammo and I'm like go around half the map before I see an acid thing because it fell in like the half of the map that I can't see.
Yeah. The game can also be exceedingly cheap because you'll have no enemies. All of a sudden, 10 enemies show up. Projectiles.
Nothing. Oh my god, there's everything.
Yeah, it does escalate slightly throughout your play period, I think, but definitely it starts with a few fewer enemies than there ought to be, and the projectile enemies, once they start appearing, can appear very large clumps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess there is a bit of escalation. It's just, the fundamental game doesn't really change all that much. I mean, it's not bad for a free shooter.
Mm-hmm.
No,
It's one of those. It's not bad, but like
it's fun enough. It's very basic.
Yeah, if the developer wanted to further this, I could see this be pretty interesting.
Or even if you I don't know if the bullet type of the weapons changes much. I don't think so because caliber was a rating, but if they had variations where you could get a shotgun or a Boktai style spray or something.
Boktai style spray? That's a new one.
Okay, in the first Boktai game, your basic gun had two modes. It could shoot a little round pellet, or if you held down the shot, it would shoot out a semicircle a certain distance from you.
Yeah, I didn't see any spray, but the bullets definitely do change sizes.
Yeah, I figured that's what caliber was.
Yeah. The pistol has a really small bullet size, and there are some of the later guns have absolutely massive bullets.
Based on the ratings it gives you, the first gun is actually pretty good, but the main thing that it's great at is it has extremely good ammo capacity, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I did start to favor the later guns, even though they had pretty shit ammo capacity.
I think that's a fairly standard thing. As you get theoretically better at the game, you use less bullets to kill the same number of enemies. Plus, you'll probably get better at the bayonet charge, which means you don't have to shoot as much.
Well, the thing is, the bullets are much bigger. So.
Can they hit more than one enemy, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the basic bullets definitely can't.
Yeah.
I think they can. Anyway, let's see. The music is kind of strange. It's kind of hard to describe.
I had the music down pretty low, so.
Yeah.
But it seemed eerie.
Yeah, it's eerie and otherworldly, but rather addictive. A highlight was the desert track for me. Definitely an unorthodox soundtrack. Don't think you can get it separate, but it's a free game, so
yeah.
Turn the game on, I suppose.
Yeah, and was it one music track throughout, or does it have multiple?
No. Thankfully, each level has its own distinctive music track. which is always appreciated, because the one music track throughout, just you will get sick of it.
Yeah, we've experienced that many a time.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
like quite a few paid games as well. Like, like overall, Acid Nimbus was a fairly big surprise. Like it literally doesn't look like much from like screenshots or what have you, and it's fairly basic, but it's solid. It's a very fundamental shooter, I suppose is the way of putting it.
It would be definitely a concept I'd like to see expanded upon if the developer feels inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but once again, it's a free game, so you can check it out like right now on Steam. So, give it a whirl, and when we come back, Twilight will be stepping up to the plate with his first review, Mega Dimension Neptunia 7R. No, we haven't figured out exactly what this title is, but that's what I'm going with. So,
I'm sure that's part of the alleged charm.
No doubt. Anyway, see you after the break.